Welcome to part 4 of this series where we look at the Japanese names of Pokemon and break them down and translate them directly. You can learn a lot about a Pokemon based on its name, after all. Well, most of the time. Sometimes you just learn that something is a loach. Like super a loach, because its name in Japanese is just loach, followed by loach. But now let's look to Generation 4. Did you know that according to interviews with various dev team members, Generation 4 was supposedly the beginning of the overall creation of the Pokemon universe, the world as a whole? Generation 1, 2, and 3 were kind of created just as Pokemon games. But 4 was the starting point of the Pokemon franchise that's going to keep going for basically forever. It's a massive media franchise, and this means the Pokemon world needs an origin story. So in a way, they treated Gen 4 like a new beginning. And it shows. I mean, the legendaries of these games are the creators of the universe. Anyway, I've still brought along Mika, a native Japanese speaker, to help with these pronunciations, because I know I would butcher all of them. So let's get started.
Naetoru
Is a combination of the Japanese word for sprout and the English word turtle.
Hayashigame
Is a combination of their words for grove and turtle. So it's a direct translation of the English name. Surprisingly, there aren't many Pokemon names like this. Ones that directly translate from English to Japanese. In fact, there were barely any at all in the first 3 generations, but as you'll see, Generation 4 has quite a lot of them comparatively.
Dodaitosu
Breaking this name down, we have earth or ground, followed by large, and then English's tortoise.
Hikozaru
Literally, fire, child, ape. And when I say literally, I don't mean this name combines words like how squirt and turtle make Squirtle. I mean this name is literally fire, child, ape, written out, and then you remove the spaces. And that's the name.
Moukazaru
Is a combination of words meaning roaring flames and monkey or ape. Notably, you only need a slightly different inflection to go from the word monkey to the word ape.
Goukazaru
Inferno, monkey or ape. Meaning this is another name that can be perfectly translated from Japanese to English.
Pochama
Is derived from the Japanese onomatopoeia for a tiny pebble-sized splash, a descriptor meaning round and plump, and child.
Pottaishi
Plump, crowned prince. Again, a direct translation.
Emperuto
From English, emperor, and the last name of Napoleon Bonaparte.
Mukuru
Is a combination of their name for the gray starling and the onomatopoeia of a bird call.
Mukubado
Their name for the gray starling and English's bird.
Mukuhoku
Gray starling, hawk.
Bippa
English beaver, Japanese protruding tooth.
Bidaru
English beaver, Japanese barrel.
Koroboushi
Literally, the Japanese name for the black spotted leaf beetle.
Korotoku
Cricket, talk, as in the tick-tock of a clock.
Korinku
Japanese child, English blink or lynx.
Lukushio
Same as the English name, Latin for light and Latin for lion.
Lentora
So this name's really cool. It's named after Wilhelm Röntgen, the scientist who discovered X-rays, as well as roar and Japanese for tiger.
Tsubomi
A corruption of their word for flower bud. A corruption means a slight misspelling or a slight mispronunciation.
Rozureido
Same name in English, from rose and masquerade. This is one of my favorite Pokemon.
Zugaidosu
Is a shortening of cranium.
Lamubarudo
A combination of the English words rampart, ram, and bald.
Tatetopusu
Japanese for shield and Greek for face. Shield face, followed by the suffix for dinosaurs commonly found in the Ceratopsidae family.
Toridepusu
Japanese for fortress and Triceratops.
Minomuchi
A cute baby talk way of saying bagworm.
Minomadamu
Japanese bagworm, English madam.
Gameiru
Japanese for moth, English male.
Mitsuhani
Japanese for 3 honeybees, and English honey.
Bee Queen
Yeah, just bee queen.
Pachirisu
From the Japanese onomatopoeia for electricity crackling, and squirrel.
ブイゼル
From English buoy and weasel.
フローゼル
Same name in English, from float and weasel.
チェリンボ
A combination of cherry and the Japanese word for cherry. Yep! Yo, cherry cherry! Meet loach loach!
チェリム
Same as the English name, and it's a good combination of things, from cherry, cherubium, and blossom, as well as cherimoya, meaning fruit-bearing tree, as well as tirim, which is Irish for dry, referencing this Pokemon's forms based on if it's a dry, sunny day or not.
からなくし
Is a combination of words meaning without shell or to have lost its shell.
トリトドン
From Tritonidae, the family of creatures it's from, and perhaps Triton, the aquatic Greek god, as well as Dawn, meaning the top dog, the head honcho, or just an ancient thing. And looking at the horns, it may also pull from Torito, which is Spanish for little bull.
エテボース
English for both, referring to its two hands, and Japanese for strong point, and monkey. In a way, you could translate this to an ambidextrous monkey.
不安定
Is phonetically similar or identical to their word for unstable, but in a pun-like situation, it now includes words meaning soft, the onomatopoeia for floating, and balloon.
不笑いど
Is phonetically similar to a phrase meaning to follow others blindly, which this line of Pokemon tend to do, but again, in a pun-like situation, it's also a combination of the onomatopoeia for floating, balloon, Latin for light, and English's ride.
ミミロル
Japanese for ear, and English roll, since it rolls its ears up.
ミミロップ
Ear and lop, as in a lop-eared bunny.
ムーマージ
Japanese nightmare, English mage.
ドンカラス
Don, as in the boss, the head honcho, the mafia leader, and Crow, meaning again we have a perfect translation. There's been quite a few of these.
ニャルマ
Japanese for meow, and English glamour.
ーブニャット
Japanese for ugly, fat, meow, as well as a bit of English's fat and or cat.
リーシャン
Is the Japanese onomatopoeia for a bell chiming, the Japanese onomatopoeia for a bell ringing, and in a pun-like situation, when combined to create this name, it sounds similar to the English word listen. Listen! Listen! Listen!
スカンプー
From English, skunk, and pu, the thing that people say when there's something stinky. Pu!
スカタンク
From English, skunk, stank, and tank.
ドーミラー
From English, mirror, and Japanese, steel mirror.
ドータくん
Named after a type of large bronze bell and an onomatopoeia for low, loud drumming.
ウソハチ
Means false flower pot, but in a pun-like situation, it also sounds similar to the phrase meaning to downright lie.
マネネ
Japanese for mimicry and Spanish for baby.
ピンプク
English pink, Japanese good fortune.
ペラップ
From English parrot and rap, as well as peta peta, which is Japanese for fluent in many languages.
ミカルゲ
Comes from Japanese words meaning pumice and granite, referring to its keystone, and jar or urn, referring to it being a container of 108 souls.
深まる
Literally means to deepen or to become deep. But this is also a literal combination of their words for shark and round. Man, Japanese is hard. Fuka means shark, maru means round. Combine them to make fukamaru, and you get to become deep. How does that?
ガバイト
Same name in English, which comes from the English word bite, as well as Japanese for to gobble down, to bite, chew, or sink one's teeth into.
ガブリアス
From Carcharias, a genus of sharks, and Japanese for ground or earth, as well as gulping, biting, chewing, and sinking one's teeth into.
ゴンベ
This is a popular name for Japanese peasants in the old days. Gon can also be from Snorlax's name in Japanese, Kabigon. Thus B could be as in baby, as this is the baby evolution of Snorlax.
リオル
Same name in English. It's Lucario, its next evolution, but without the middle syllable, and then the two other syllables are reversed.
ルカリオ
Same name in English, which comes from orichalcum with its syllables reversed. Orichalcum being a mythical metal. It can also come from oracle, referring to its supernatural abilities of sensing aura. It may also reference Cairo and Pharaoh from Egypt, as it's a jackal. And maybe even Lycos, which is Greek for wolf.
ヒポポタス
Same name in English, which is derived from hippopotamus.
カバルドン
Comes from their word for hippopotamus, and don, which is Spanish for lord and Greek for tooth.
スコルピ
Same name in English, a shortening of scorpion.
ドラピオン
Is a combination of dragon, Dracula, referring to its fangs, drastic, referring to its over-the-top violent nature, and scorpion.
グレッグル
Comes from plenty of Japanese words, such as filth, disgusting, and the sound of frogs croaking.
ドクロッグ
Japanese for poison and English is frog.
マスキッパ
Is from the scientific name of the Venus flytrap, as well as Japanese for hunger and eating.
ケイコウオ
Literally, fluorescent fish.
ネオラント
From English, neon and lantern.
タマンタ
Egg, manta ray.
雪かぶり
Is a combination of words meaning snow and head, but in a pun-like situation it also contains to cover up, which works well as its head is covered in snow.
雪の王
Just means snow king.
マニューラ
Is a combination of various words, meaning demon, weasel, sneaking in, and meow.
ジバコイル
Japanese for magnetic field and English is coil, referring to an electromagnetic coil.
ベロベルト
Comes from tongue, the sound of licking, and the act of sticking out one's tongue.
ドサイドン
Dawn comes from Greek, meaning tooth, and it's common in dinosaur names. It can also mean leader or lord, and then the rest is Japanese, from angry, ground, a prefix meaning stronger, and rhino.
モジャンボ
Japanese for shaggy or unkempt, English jumbo.
エレキブル
Japanese for electric, and English electricity and cable.
ブーバーン
From booby and burn.
トゲキッス
Same name in English, English kiss, and Japanese for spike.
メガヤンマ
Comes from Meganura, a kind of prehistoric dragonfly. Mega, and Japanese for large dragonfly.
リーフィア
Just leaf. Adding IA to something makes it a name, I guess. See the Tales of series for reference.
グレイシア
Same IA reasoning, but then French for ice, or possibly English glacier.
グライオン
From English, glide, scorpion.
マンムー
From mammoth and the Japanese onomatopoeia for oinking.
ポリゴン Z
Polygon with a Japanese accent, and then the Z could be there because it's the final evolution, so last letter of the alphabet, it's version Z. But the Z may also refer to the Z-axis, meaning it's a 3D object. Or perhaps Z is a corruption of 2, as they look similar. After all, Porygon Z is a glitched Porygon 2.
エルレイド
From English, elbow, blade, and earl, which is a chieftain or military leader in the days of antiquity.
ダイノーズ
Japanese big, English nose.
ヨノワール
Is Japanese for night, ghost, and French for black.
雪目の子
Literally, snow girl. But it also sounds similar to a corruption of kimono.
ロトム
The same name in English, motor spelled backwards.
ユクシー
Pixie, and the Japanese words for future and knowledge.
エムリット
Sprite, emotion, and Japanese for to smile, which is emu. And I think that's fun, because emus can't smile.
アグノム
Gnome, agnosticism, and Greek for knowledge.
ディアルガ
Same as the English name, from diamond, dial as in sundial, and ga may be a corruption of gon, from dragon.
パルキア
Same as the English name, which is derived from the Japanese spelling of pearl.
ヒードラン、
Same name in English, from heat and transfer.
レジギガス、
Latin for royal, Greek for giant.
ギラティナ、
Same name in English, coming from many words. Girasol, which is a red opal, guillotine, girare, which is Italian for wander around, and parachina, which is Japanese for platinum.
クレセリア、
Same name in English, from crescent moon and Selene, who was the Greek goddess of the moon.
フィオネ、
Is from the last syllable in Manaphy and Celone, a genus of sea angels.
マナフィー、
From mana and a shortening of fairy.
ダークライ、
Same name in English, which is a combination of dark and Japanese for dark. It's dark dark.
シェイミ、
Same name in English, which comes from a variety of languages, such as Chinese for thanks and hedgehog, English's shaman and stamen, and Hebrew for sky, referring to its sky form.
アルセウス、
This is the god of Pokemon itself. Its name comes from Arc, a prefix meaning most extreme or all high, as well as perhaps Archon, a Greek word meaning ruler or lord, as well as perhaps Arcanus, Latin for secret and mystery, and perhaps this Greek word that I know I would butcher, which means beginning, as it is the Pokemon that created the universe. The latter half of this name, then, comes from Deus, which is Latin for God. But then, you put all of these meanings together into Arceus, and you're super close, you're phonetically similar, and only one letter away from the Arceus, which is an aspect of the astral plane in alchemy and mysticism. Specifically, it's the border between our universe and the spiritual heaven. And dang, that's some deep stuff. They put a lot of thought into this Pokemon's name, which is super cool because, I mean, it's the god of Pokemon, so clearly it's gonna have to have an important name. I just love that they do that. I love Pokemon lore and all that so much. It's my favorite part about the franchise, really. Well, that's all of the Gen 4 Pokemon, their names in Japanese and what they mean, and where they came from. I hope you learned something, so until next time, please just remember to never stop using your noggin, and be sure to subscribe to be alerted when we do Generation 5.